Hey guys, can y'all just give me a quick thumbs up if you can hear me so I know that I'm not talking to myself here before we get started? And also, if my dogs start barking, I will immediately mute the mic. So it doesn't mean I'm disappearing. I just don't want you guys to have to hear my dogs bark. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Somebody just give me a thumbs up in the chat, please. And we can go ahead and get started. I will also be recording this, so I will play it back later. And Happy New Year to you too. Okay, good. Somebody just said they can hear, so perfect. All right, so we can get started. Well, like I just said, first of all, if my dogs bark, anybody that just joined, I will mute the mic immediately so it doesn't hurt your ears. But that doesn't mean I'm disappearing. I'll just mute it for a second. If Amazon does not show up at my door today, they won't be barking. So anyway, first I want to thank all of you guys for subscribing to me on X. And hopefully you're enjoying my Discord server. That was a big move for me. I'm not very good at Discord. I've had the account forever and I've been on other people's Discords, but I've never had my own channels or anything like that. So it's a learning curve, and but it's going so well. I'm really happy that you guys and Rod kind of pushed me into doing it because I love having the separate channels for the stocks and ETFs that we're in, so that sometimes it's annoying when you're only trading, let's say, BBAI, and the whole chat is being clogged up with 5 other names that we're trading. And all you're really interested in is BBAI. So having those separate channels, that's kind of what they're about. It doesn't mean you can't talk about it in the general chat, but it's nice to have the side chat for just specific names chat. So and if somebody doesn't trade a certain name, they don't have to hear the chatter about it. So it's perfect. Also, some of you have reached out saying they don't see the channels. If you don't see the channels, you just press the Tesla Groupie. You'll see something that says Tesla Groupie at the top. When you press that, all the channels will show up underneath it. So they may be hidden. So you just have to press that, and then all the channels will show up beneath the name. So that's very easy to do. Let me just see here. So if anyone has any Discord recommendations, like channels, I'm open to it because, again, that part is kind of new to me. So I'm sure you guys have been on other servers and you know what worked and what didn't. So I'm totally open to it. I will, now that we're kind of easing back into AMDL, I will add an AMDL channel. I did add the profits channel for you guys. So please, if you're making profits, put it in there, put it in the channel, because I'd love to see it. And everybody else loves to see it. And it's kind of motivating. I don't consider it bragging. We're all in this together and we're all in here trying to make money. And it's nice to see what other people are making and what's possible. I don't look at it like, he or she is bragging about making $200. No, we're all in these trades and we're all in them together. And it might give you an idea. It might help you learn. It might make you feel more comfortable with a certain name that you've never traded before when you see somebody's profits on that name. So it's a good thing, and it's also a good thing to go look at for even people that aren't putting anything in there. Just go look at other people's profits. It's good to see. And I'm saying, even if it's a $20 profit, it's a profit. Put it in there. It doesn't have to be hundreds of dollars. Just put it in there because, a lot of people here have small accounts, and some are even paper trading. So just to learn. So that's that. And then also, when I post a trade or close a trade, I at everyone. Rod said that's annoying, but he also doesn't take my trades. He's trying a different strategy, like a spread type strategy. So he's not taking any of my trades. So he's getting all the tags that at everyone. So you guys, please tell me if that's annoying and I shouldn't be doing that. I feel like I should be doing that because, like, for instance, I think whatever day it was last week, we joined our cat in the double my account challenge, and an hour later it was up 29%. So if I don't add everyone, you might not get in on it. So I don't know. You guys tell me if that's annoying. Hi, G-Man. I was just asking everybody if it's annoying that I at everyone um, when I post trades or close trades. I do not at everyone just for the heck of it. Like, hey, it's like actually got to be something that pertains to our trading. Okay, let's see. Jesse, the Discord isn't free, but it's only $4 a month. So if you're interested, just let me know. I'll send you the link of how you can pay it. I've offered it where you could just pay $45 up front and have it for a full year, and you'll be good till next January. Or because some people don't want to deal with the monthly, monthly subscription, although they don't have to pay it. I mean, it'll auto pay, but if you prefer to just pay for a year, it's only $45, so it's not much. Okay, so I also want to say thank you to Rod, Retire on Dividends, because he is the one that had opened this server for the Wheel Warriors that we've been kind of promoting. And then he let me have channels because I don't know how to run my own server. So I'm going, maybe at some point I will, so that I don't have to bother him with stuff. But for now, he's letting me use these channels, and it's been very nice because I've also had to bug him a lot about, like, can you make this a read only, because I don't know how to do it and stuff like that. So he's been helpful. Okay, so now let's get into our trades now that we've gone over all of that stuff. Well, actually, first let me talk about one more thing. Earnings season is coming up, so it starts, I think, at the end of this month. Tesla and AMD will start theirs. I mean, others as well. Usually banks go first, but I don't think any of us are in banks. So, but earnings season will start. So anytime you are entering a trade right now, please check and see when the earnings are. If you're on Robinhood, all you have to do is, if you're on the page of the stock, just scroll up, and you'll see it down at the bottom. It'll say expected earnings. It may change closer to earnings. Sometimes they change them. It's just an expected date, but it'll still be within like a week or two of that date. So just make sure that when you're entering a trade, you know when earnings are, because that will create a lot of volatility. On the other hand, it will create higher premiums because higher volatility. And that means it's being traded more. So if I'm bullish on a stock, I don't care about earnings. I actually like playing earnings. I do go a little easier, I don't go all in, but I do like playing earnings just because that spiked IV. Also, I will be telling you guys closer to the date, a expected move. You can figure out the expected moves. It's very easy if you want me to show you how, but you can figure out an expected move on a stock, and then you can see, okay, this is expected to move up, I don't know, 10%, which equals $2. So you can kind of pick your strikes accordingly. If you're selling covered calls, you could go above that $2. If you're selling cash secured puts, you could go below that $2, and be somewhat safe. But you do have to also remember that that is a number. First of all, it's an estimate, but second of all, it's a number that means it will move that right then. So if we've got earnings, let's say on a Tuesday, you might wake up Wednesday and the expected move might be correct, but then you could continue with FOMO buyers jumping in. If the stock ran up, you can deal with people selling off out of fear if the stock drops. And so it can still move a lot even after the expected move for the remainder of the week. So just, keep that in mind. And I'll do a video about it just to help you guys, maybe just a quick short, so that you can understand kind of how that works, because it took me losing money to understand how that works. And I also never, ever, personally, never, ever, ever buy options through earnings. And the reason is because, yes, it can make a big move and you can make a lot of money. One time I had two calls on Snapchat and it ran up. I made $1,500 in one morning. Like, it was amazing. That's not normal though. It's because Snapchat made a massive move and it has a lower IV in trading anyway. So the IV didn't, and the decay did not kill my contracts. But a lot of times, especially on the big movers, that IV will kill your contracts. So you can have a call on NVIDIA and NVIDIA runs up, and the next morning your contracts are worthless because the IV was so high that it just burned the contracts. So it wasn't even worth it. On the other end, the sellers make money when that happens. So you're better off on the selling end when you're dealing with when you're dealing with earnings. Also, though, if you go further out with your expiration, you're not dealing with the high IV, but of course the contracts cost a lot more. So if you did want to enter, let's say, an NVIDIA call, through earnings, if you go out a few months, you have to look, they're all different. But if you go out a few months, you can do that and it won't kill your contracts through earnings. But it's still super risky because earnings are always a gamble. I mean, you can read all over X and read all over StockTwits and read everything of YouTube, what the expected move is, and everybody's going to tell you, this stock's going to go up, 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 up. And then, on the earnings call, they say one simple little thing that people don't like in the market, and then it sells off and you've lost all that money. Because once you've bought an option, your money's gone if it doesn't go your way. So just always keep all that in mind. Okay, so we talked about earnings. I will also later in this, we'll talk about leaps. I've had a couple people ask me about leaps, and I'm going to kind of tell you the good and the bad on those and my personal view on those. And also we'll talk a little bit about spreads because we've been discussing spreads in the Discord. And I've got a few people that are very good at spreads, and I was thinking about doing maybe a spreads channel for people that want to learn it more. And we can talk the goods and the bads about that. Also tomorrow will be the Supreme Court decision on the tariffs. I'm not exactly sure what that entails, but look it up because it will be tomorrow morning and that will be a market mover. So the market may run up, the market may tank. So keep that in mind. As a matter of fact, I have, let's see here, January 9th, $6 BBAI cash secured puts. And we've been lingering around this $6 range, which I love. I mean, it's perfect. It's been just eating away at our contracts. We don't have to do anything. Just sit here and let it eat away at the contracts and we'll make money. But I'm up 81% on the 15 contracts that I own. So I'm up $452. If I keep it till tomorrow, I could make $555. But with that Supreme Court decision coming up, and it could really move the market, I might go ahead and close those today. I'm not going to be, I hate it that I won't make that extra 100, but $450 profit is not bad. So I'm not going to be greedy. I might go ahead and close those. Also on Tuesday, I closed out 22 contracts that didn't expire till the 16th, and I made 550. Now, if I would have held those until expiration, I could have made 850. But you know what? BBAI was tanking at the time. I had 110 contracts at the time. So taking a little risk off the table and making $550 one morning before I go to work, take profits. We can enter more positions, especially right now. We're only at $6. So it'll be easy to enter some more 5 and 550 cash secured puts. So easy. Now, if we were up at like $7, that'd be a different story. I doubt we would drop $1 in the morning, and it would be hard for us to enter new positions. So I would hold, but right now, take those profits because BBAI is doing very well, and don't be greedy. Just think about that. I made 550 on Tuesday, and I'll make 450 today. That's a lot of money, just for trading BBAI. Okay, so next I did want to talk about BBAI. Okay, so BBAI is a volatile stock. It is very, very volatile. It moves up, it moves down a lot. Now, it's only a $6 stock. So, it's cheap. It's on the cheaper end, obviously, which is great for us because my small accounts can do one or two contracts. My large accounts can do, 20 contracts. I'm doing 20 contracts at a time. Some of them, in January 23rd, I've got 31 contracts. So you can really add to the contract. So that's kind of why I like trading it. The IV is high, but you have to be able to stomach the volatility. It'll run on up to, a $6.30 and then it'll drop down to 5.80. That is a perfect range for us trading. Now, if you're owning shares and you want it to run up to $8, well, of course, it will, maybe one day, hopefully. But for now, while we are just trading this, staying in that range that we can kind of know what's going to happen, it's just perfect. So I want to remind you guys about TSLL last year. Those of you who were trading with me, for 6 months, it sat between $10 and $12 for 6 months. And people were kind of getting bored because the market was running up, everything was green, but TSLL wasn't budging. And I just kept saying, guys, this is a gift because once it runs up, we can't trade it anymore. And we're going to have a hard time finding something else to trade because everything is so high. You don't want to be trading at all-time highs with each, individual stock. So I was like, this is a gift. Let's take full advantage of it. And we did. And some of us got a little bored. I mean, it wasn't super exciting, but it was just consistent income, just piling in like every week. And then, of course, on some dips, we got assigned shares. And I was like, I'm not rolling these. I'm just going to get assigned the shares because in my mind, it's going to go up. It's Tesla and the market's green. All it's going to take is one catalyst and it's going to fly. And that's exactly what happened. It ran up to $23. And I had 2,900 shares stacked up. So I'll have to I'm going to sit down and look at my spreadsheet. I haven't done it all yet for 2025, but I made over $30,000 on TSLL alone last year due to that 6-month period of cash secured puts. Just in rotation, just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I was trading with about $85,000 on those, then being assigned the shares. And then those shares ran up. I had a $12 cost basis, ran up to $23, and I had 2,900 shares. So you can do the math. That was very profitable. I'm still holding 100 of those shares, and I'm just selling weekly covered calls with them. Just letting them just keep, again, continuing to just make some profits on those. So I just want y'all to remember that, and that, that's what we want BBAI to do for us this year. That's my hope. BBAI and RCAT, between those two, I really, really think we can maximize 2026 and just make it our best year yet. 2025 was my most profitable year trading ever. And it's all due to TSLL. And the fact that I had been trading TSLL for 3 years or whatever, I was very comfortable with it. And that's important. You have to be comfortable with your stock or your ETF that you're trading. Following me, just saying, hey, y'all, jump in BBAI. You don't even know what BBAI is. Okay, that's great. Jump in, do it. I'm glad you trust me. But if you don't know what it is and what you're trading, and you don't know the back end of it and what it's done in the past year or 2 years or 3 years, you need to do that research for yourself, because that's what's going to make you feel comfortable in the fact when it drops to 550 again and you're like, okay, that's all right, doesn't matter, because I know what's going to happen later, or I think I know what's going to happen later. The market could crash anytime, but you know what I mean. Excuse my dog in the background. He's, I don't know, crying. He wants to go outside. So anyway, just keep that in mind. Get to know your stocks and ETFs. And I know it can be a little repetitive and a little boring. If you want some excitement, do a day trade on the side or do a swing trade on the side. Go for it. Because I've done that in the past, and I've lost too much money gambling. So for me, I'm just going to rinse and repeat and make as much money as possible in this market while we can. So, while it's in this range, all I can say is enjoy it. It's a gift. and take profits, because it can turn at any moment. Especially, I love Trump, but especially with Trump in office and Elon being kind of erratic, you just never know when those two are going to do something that might move the market in a negative way. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so those are in our favor. What else are we going to look at? Okay, anybody that joined me in the ONDS trade yesterday, you should be up. It was up 50% in a day, so that's really good. Right now it's up 42%. If you need your capital back, consider closing it. I'm not. I'm going to hold it a little longer. Oh God, here we go. And I'm going to hold it a little longer because why not? I don't need my capital back. All right, I'm going to mute for a sec. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. So the ONDAS trade, I am going to keep a little bit longer because I'm just not ready to close it. I only have 2 contracts, so I don't necessarily need the capital at the moment. And of course, when I do close it, I will alert everyone. So, did any of you guys get into it with me? Yes, it was yesterday I posted it. Okay. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to go into a little bit of the difference in the Discord and the X subscriptions, and because some people are a little bit confused, and I've got over 300 people in here between the two, so I want to make sure everybody understands. Okay, so now let's talk about our cat. That's our big one right now. Nobody knows really what to do with it because it ran up so much. I mean, what is it up, like 40% or something in the last week? Like, what a move. So first of all, I want to say, any of you guys that have been with me for a while, you know that I keep saying, do not sell covered calls against your full position. And I say it over and over and over and over. But I did sell covered calls against the majority of my position on RCAT, and I already regret it. And I know a bunch of you do too. So my plan is I've got $10. Callie, hush. I've got $10 and I've got $10.50 covered calls. As of right now, I've got some expiring tomorrow. Let me see here. I've got some expiring tomorrow, and then I've got some expiring on the 16th, which is next Friday. As of right now, my plan is to let my shares go. It hurts because it is almost at $12 right now, and I'm gonna have to let some of them go at $10. At this point, I don't feel like it's worth rolling because I'm down so much on those covered calls. I mean, literally down. Let's see. I'm down like 500% on the covered calls. So I haven't even looked at rolling. If I change my mind, I'll tell you. If you guys are considering rolling, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. I am not. I'm most likely just going to let the shares go. My cost basis is $8.48. So I'll make quite a bit of money. I'll have to do the math, but I mean thousands of dollars. I'll make thousands of dollars on this trade still. So rolling it out to me seems a little just like I'm pushing it. I don't know. But hopefully we've all learned a lesson about not selling covered calls against your full position. And I didn't listen to my own rule. Usually I only do half of my position, but I did more than half. So I'm going to have to let some go, and that's okay. The sweet spot for RCAT was $10 back when I first started trading it. And then it dropped under 8, it dropped to 6. Now we're back up into the range where it should be. I don't feel like this is out of our sweet spot or out of our price range. I feel like it's gone back up to where it should be. So it's still tradable. So we can still get in at $9 and $10 cash secured puts. So the fact that we might lose some shares, that's okay. What we're going to do is anybody that loses shares with me tomorrow, we're going to get quite a bit of buying power back, especially if you've got as many shares as me. We'll get a lot of buying power back, and then we'll just immediately sell some more cash secured puts, $9 and $10 strikes, see if we can get our shares back. And if we don't, we'll just collect more premium. So that's the way I'm going to play it. It's not worth rolling. Rolling can get confusing, plus you're taking a loss and then you're, reselling for a gain. And I don't know. For me, it's not worth the hassle. But for you guys, if it is, then good. I can help you roll if you're interested. Just put it in the chat or put it in our cat chat, and we can discuss. We can discuss options if anybody wants to. Okay, so we've gone over RCAT, we've gone over Ondas, we've gone over BBAI. What else are we in? AMDL, AMD has had a significant pullback. So I did enter some puts the other day, some cash secured puts. I sold puts the other day. So I'm in three $14 cash secured puts expiring the 16th. And then Dave in our chat, he had an idea this morning of February 20th, $12 puts that paid $85. So I'm in both of those. Plus I own 300 shares at an $18.50 cost basis. So that sucks. But I do have covered calls that are doing very well. Those are up 83% and 63%. So we will start trading AMDL again because earnings are coming up. Keep in mind, beginning of February. But hey, I think AMD long term I'm bullish. So the fact that we can trade AMDL if we get assigned shares, that's okay. We'll let them run up, and we'll take profits. We also lightly started some TSLL trades again. Those are doing well. Let's see here. Yeah, those are doing well. They're only up a little bit, like 6%, 15%, whatever, but we just entered them, so that's okay. I still like trading TSLL, so that's good. So we'll continue with that as well. Okay, so I think that's all. Does anybody have any stocks you want me to discuss? Losses or another business expense? Yes, Grandpa Trades, I agree. And let's discuss that too. Okay, so that's next on my list. How to manage a trade that goes against you, when to cut or roll. Okay, I'm going to be 100% honest. I am not good at cutting trades. And here's why. Unless it's a speculative stock or something that I'm not comfortable with, or maybe I'm gambling. One of my friends sent me a stock this morning. Let me tell you what it is. And she said, take a look at this IV. It's SMX is the stock. The IV is like 430%. It's wild. It ran up. She is playing it because she is my friend that loves to gamble in the stock market, and she will make 40 grand and she will lose 30 grand. I mean, she is wild. She has way more risk tolerance than me. But on any of these, she'll send them to me and tell me like, hey, check out the IV on this. You might want to sell some puts. So anyway, things like this, if I decide I want to jump in, I'll go far out with my expiration and I will do one contract of a low strike because I'm kind of like, okay, it's a gamble. It's for fun, blah, blah, blah. If it goes against me, I will either take a loss or roll it because I don't know this stock. I'm trading it from someone else. It's a gamble. It's literally a gamble. So for that one, I would either, if it went against me, if I were to get in, I would take a loss or I would roll the contract way out because, I don't really know this stock and I do understand that it's a gamble. But the ones that I have high conviction in, like AMDL, I'm down 23% on my shares. Am I going to sell them at 23% loss? Absolutely not, because I know what it will do. I don't know when, but I know what it will do. Bull, BULL, 1,600 shares, I'm down 20%. A lot of people would cut at 20%. Some cut at 10. They don't mess around. They're just like, I'm down 10%, I'm out. Move on. Some do 20%, which would normally be my rule, and some do 30%. I think most do 30%. They put a 30% stop loss on any trade that they're in, whether it's a leap call or leap put, whether it's a buying shares, whatever it may be. 30% they're out. That is I think from my understanding, for most people that I've traded with and that I know, they cut at 30%. I'm not with bull either. Even I'm only down 20%, but I'm not cutting it. Again, I'm bullish on bull. I think it will make its run. I'm just going to hold and wait. I'm also not selling covered calls with it at the moment. It's down too much. I don't want to sell a covered call for $5. $10 I will. If I could get $10 per contract, I've got 1,600 shares. I could sell 10 contracts. That's $100. I would do that. $5 isn't really worth the risk if we get a run up like we got with RCAT, and you just never know when that's going to happen. If you asked me 2 weeks ago, will RCAT run up 40% or whatever, in a week, I would have told you doubtful, but here we are. So you don't know when a stock is gonna make its big run. There's absolutely no way to know. So if you're bullish, just hold. But everybody's risk tolerance is different and everybody's portfolio size is different. If bull was taking up a good portion of my portfolio and I'm down 20% and I can't sell covered calls, I would get rid of it because it's holding up, $13,000 of my buying power. So, if that's, if I only have a, let's say $20,000 account and it's holding up 13,000 of it just sitting here, and I'm going to be waiting for hopefully a run up someday at some point, I would get rid of it. I would cut it right now because I would want to use that 13,000 on something that I feel like would be more profitable, like BBAI and RCAT, even AMDL. So that's kind of the rule behind it. Again, here I am sitting here with MSTU and BMNU that are way down. I mean, my BMNU shares are down 70%. And some of you may be like, okay, that's crazy. You should not be holding those. Well, first of all, I don't have a ton. So that's okay. And second of all, when it runs, it is going to run. And you see what Ethereum does, and it's going to follow Ethereum. But again, if it was taking up a big portion of my portfolio, I would have got rid of it a long time ago because it's not worth sitting here holding and waiting and hoping. Not every trade is going to go as planned or as you expect. So I hate that I'm in MSTU and BMNU, but I'm also not ready to cut them even though I'm way down on them. Just my personal opinion, because I am bullish on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So, and they will run up. People say, well, they might not run up because we don't, MSTR doesn't own enough Bitcoin at the moment, and on and on and on. But regardless, they're sympathy plays. They will run up when crypto runs up, just out of that's what they do. And so will CleanSpark and Mara and Coinbase, and they all do. Okay, hang on one sec. Okay. But if you are bearish on crypto or you need your buying power back, once again, cut them, especially if they're taking up a good portion of your portfolio. A good way to cut that I do when I am ready to get out, and I'll use this as an example, BMNU, my cost basis, this is embarrassing, is $25. So BMNU is trading right now at $5.90. So before I would just go take a cut and just cut it and be done, I would sell some aggressive covered calls. I would go, I don't know, next Friday, sell some $6 or $6.50 covered calls. If you were going to sell them anyway, you might as well go ahead and try to make some money off of them. And that way, like if it runs up to $6.50, yeah, you'll lose your shares. But if you were going to sell them at $5.90, hey, better to sell them at $6.50. If it doesn't run to $6.50, then you get to keep your premium and sell another one. So, and if you don't understand that, DM me or ask me in the chat. I'll be more than happy to help because this is the best way to cut a position and make money while doing it. So yes, I can help you with that. Anybody that needs help. So let me just give you one example. BMNU. If you were to sell a covered call on BMNU, let me see. So let's say you were ready to get out of the trade. You're ready right now to get rid of these shares at $5.90. Like I want them gone. I want them out of my portfolio. Go ahead. Okay, they don't have a 6. They only have a 7. Okay, or they don't have a 650. They have a 7. Go ahead and next week expiration, the 16th, you could sell a $7 call for $30. Now, one of two things will happen. Next week, if it's above $7, you lose your shares at $7. Okay, so what? You were going to sell them at $5.90. So you might as well sell them at 7, right? If it doesn't hit 7 next week, you make $30. Then you do it again for the next week. And you just keep it rolling. Eventually you'll lose those shares. And the higher the better. The more money you'll make. And at the meantime, you'll be sitting here collecting premium. So if you're actually ready to cut, that's a very good way to do it. Again, if you need help, just reach out. Okay, let's discuss leaps, leap options and what they are. I think the definition is a call or put option that expires a year out, a year or more. So that would be, buying a call or put on, I don't know, AMD, and it doesn't expire until January 2027 or further out. They're very expensive, first of all. Second of all, once you have bought them, that money is gone. So keep that in mind. It's, for me, even though you're giving yourself a lot of time, the volatility in this market is scary for buying options, in my opinion. I'm, again, no financial analyst, but this is just my opinion. So I'm going to tell you what happened to me in 2021, full bull market. Every option that I bought calls on, I made money on. Everything that I bought shares on, I made money on. Sold cash secured puts, I made money. Pretty much what we're doing right now. I mean, all of these stocks are doing well because the market's doing well. And so I decided I had learned leaps. So I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm going to throw $20,000 into leap calls for good stocks. I had, I believe, AMD. I had DraftKings, which DraftKings was doing really well at the time. And then I had a bunch of other names. I don't really remember, but they were all very good named, high quality stocks. And I bought leaps far out into 2022. And 2022, we went into a bear market. And I lost every penny on every leap. So I lost $20,000. So if you are buying leaps, just be careful. And if you're starting, if it's your first time, buy a leap on something like BBAI. Okay. I mean, your biggest risk is losing maybe $500. I don't know. They're not very expensive. And what you could do is, let's say, let me just put it up. Okay. Just as an example, I am not doing this and I'm not recommending it. I'm just giving you an example. Let's say we wanted to do a BBAI leap. So we're going to go out to January 15, 2027. And we're going to buy a $7 call. It's only $208. Okay, so, hey, that's not going to make you or break you. But what you could do is buy one. And if BBAI has a pullback, you can add a second contract. You can add a third contract. You can keep adding contracts to that because you have a whole year and they're only $200 each. Versus if you bought a Tesla leap, you're talking a lot of money. Let's go out real quick. We'll do an example. Okay, so let's go out to January 15th, 2027 and buy an at the money call on Tesla. Let's scroll down. You're talking $9,700. So, basically 10 grand on this. So you better be sure that Tesla is going to go up if you're about to put $10,000 into something or $9,000 into an option, because it can go against you. On the other hand, while you own that call, you can sell covered calls against it. It's called the poor man's covered call. So, you've got that. So that's basically like owning shares for a year. So you've got that. So then you can sell weekly or monthly covered calls. Weekly is better because you don't want it to go against you. Again, you'll lose money if you sell a covered call. So same principle. But that is an option. If you really do plan on holding it for a long time, you can do that. The downside is, just like if you own shares, if that thing runs up and your covered call goes against you, you would have to buy back your covered call at a loss to be able to close out the call that you purchased, the leap call. So hopefully that's not too confusing, but I can help you. You have to just think of it as owning shares. It's the same principle. So personally, I don't recommend it. If BBAI were to drop to 550 or something, I might do, 1 or 2 contracts a year out, because again, $200 is fine. But I would not load up with the market being at all-time highs. I wouldn't go load up on expensive leaps personally. Okay, so let's talk about spreads. A few of you do spreads, and I do think spreads are amazing for small accounts because you don't need as much capital. So yes, I do like them for that purpose. If you don't have a small account, I personally don't love them, and here is why. You're basically doing what I just said, buying a call to be able to sell a call, or buying a put to be able to sell a put, and not have to pay the full. You won't need the full collateral. So, for BBAI, you need $550 to sell a $5.50 cash secured put. But if I were to buy a put also, I wouldn't need to put up that much collateral because I've already bought the put. So it's kind of like owning. I hope I'm not confusing you guys, but it does require less collateral. And so there are some people in my Discord that are very good at these. Once you understand them, they are very, very simple, and they do help you with not using as much collateral. Here's the downside, and the reason I don't necessarily prefer them is because let's say you're doing a spread where you're selling a put, which means you have to, buy a put. I personally would rather, if the trade goes against me, I would rather be assigned the shares. Now, again, I have a large account. So for me, I would rather be assigned the shares versus we get to expiration and the whole trade's over and you've lost money. It may not be, a bunch of money, but at the end of the trade, you don't get assigned shares. Well, actually, you could close out the bought put at a loss and let the shares be assigned. You can. There are ways around it. But simplified, you would just lose the money and the trade is over. So it's, that's okay. It won't be a massive amount of money, but it's still, your money's gone and you don't own shares. For me, I want to own the shares. And here's why. Shares are where we make the big money. With these RCAT trades, let's say, if we were just all in spreads or all in cash secured puts and that's it on this run up, sure, we'd make money. Yeah, absolutely. And everybody would be happy. Would we make the thousands of dollars that we just made on these shares? No, because these shares are where we have made the money. Now I did sell some covered calls, so I won't make this amount of money. But let's say I had no covered calls against my position, I would be at $4,000 something dollars, well over $4,000 on my shares alone. I'm not going to make that because I did sell covered calls. So I'm going to make probably about $3,000 total max, may even be less. I'll have to add it up. But so I gypped myself out of about $1,000 selling covered calls. Still going to make amazing profits on those shares, and I'm going to let them go. TSLL, back when we were trading that, if I was never assigned those 2,900 shares at a $12 cost basis, I would have never made the amount of money I made when it ran up to $23. But again, I had a lot of money wrapped up in 2,900 shares of TSLL. Let me see, 2,900 times $12. I had $34,000 wrapped up in those shares. Some people don't have that sitting in an account. So I understand that. So it does have its positives, but it also has its negatives as capping your profits. It caps profits. But if you are just starting out or you've got a small account, it is the way to go, because capping profits is better than no profits if you can't afford a trade. You see what I mean? So also another plus side is when the trade's over, the trade's over. If you lost a little money, it expires and you're done. This doesn't linger. This doesn't linger on like with BMNU. Like I'm sitting here holding these shares with Bull. I'm sitting here holding these shares. It won't linger. Like when the trades, when it expires and it's done. So, and then you can move on. So, it's just an individual person, individual portfolios, depending on what you're trading. If you're trading like a high cost stock, it's definitely worth it. I was trading TQQQ spreads before the split because it was so high. And it went well most of the time. One time it went against me, and actually one time it went against me. I had sold puts and, bought a put, whatever. And it dropped really fast. So I just bought back, or I sold the put that I bought, took a loss on that and went ahead and got the shares assigned because I was like, oh, TQQQ is going to run right back up. And it sure did. I made a killing. So, there are advantages and there are ways around it if you get stuck. Let's see what else I wanted to talk about. Okay, back to the same thing as far as owning the shares. A lot of you get assigned shares and you're like, man, the covered call values and premiums are not that great. They're not as good as, cash secured put premiums. And that is true. But the point behind owning the shares is trying to eventually take profits on the actual shares. The covered calls are just a little bit extra money while you wait for the shares to go back up. So, you got to think of it like that. Like I just said with RCAT, you just wait for the shares to go back up. And they did really, really fast. So we're sitting at 1170 right now. So the share value is what you look for once you get assigned the shares, not necessarily the covered call value. Covered calls are just a way to make a little bit of premium while you wait for the stock to run back up. So keep that in mind. It's not like, oh, we're going to make all this money on covered calls. That's not how it goes. It's just a little extra money while you wait on the stock. And that's why you want to be bullish on these stocks when you enter them. Okay, so I do want to discuss what I've done with Mara, MARA. Now, I'm not recommending this by any means, but it's a way to get out of a stock, and this is what I've been trying to do. My focus right now is to get out of Mara. I'm focusing on one stock at a time that I don't want to hold anymore. Mara and CleanSpark are the two I really am trying to actively get out of. So I'm selling aggressive covered calls and I am selling cash secured puts on Mara. Every bit of premium that I take in, I am using toward my share value. So, if you own, let's say, shares of something at $10, okay, $10 cost basis, and you sell some covered calls, you can call that covered call premium. Once it expires, I always wait till it expires to decide how much my profit is. Once it expires, you can call that profits. You can log it into, hopefully you're all logging your trades. You can log it in as profits. Or let's say you've made $20 on that covered call. Instead of logging it in as profits, take it off of your share value of whatever stock it is. So let's say you own 100 shares of Mara at a $10 cost basis, and you have sold a covered call. It expires worthless. You've made $20. Okay, that brings your share value down. So you would take your $1,000. Let's see. You've got 100 shares of Mara at $10. Okay, so you've got $1,000 in Mara. So then you would deduct $20 from that. That brings your share value down to $9.80. Then you sell another covered call for, let's just say, 20 bucks. The next week, if you want to log that $20 as profit, you can, or you can take another $20 off your share value. That would bring your share value down to $9.60. And you can keep doing that until you've got your share value down to, you could even do it till you get your share value down to 0 if you want. And then you're selling covered calls at 0 risk of losing your shares. So that's what I'm doing right now with Mara. I'm selling covered calls and I'm selling cash secured puts. Any premium that I receive at expiration when it's done, I'm putting towards my share value. And that way I'm bringing the cost value of my shares down, and then I'll sell aggressive covered calls eventually and just get out altogether and hopefully in profit. But you can do this with any stock or any ETF. If you need help with that, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you do that. It's a very good way to try to exit a stock and bring your value down. Okay, before I discuss our double our count challenge, let me see if I have any. If anyone has any comments or questions, please ask here on YouTube. Don't put it in the chat or the DMs, because I'm afraid if I scroll over to check that, it might mess up my stream here. Okay, I love your content and also your trading strategy. Ever since you and Rod told me about TSLL when you were doing a live video with him, I've been making great. I'm so happy to hear that. Bruce, I guess it is. Yeah, TSLL. Oh my God, it has changed my life. I'm telling you, man. It is just, back when I found it in 2023 and it was $6 and it was only 1.5x. Now it's 2x leveraged. It was only 1.5. The volume was very low. It only had monthly expirations. I was just buying shares. I just bought a ton of shares and waited for them to run up to $8 and sold them and rinse and repeat. And then it got more popular and it became 2x, and then it became weekly expirations. And at that point I was like, I'm all in. I am all in. I love it. And I will tell you guys also that let's see. I will tell you guys also that last April, I've posted this on X, and some people didn't understand what I meant, but I said October was my most profitable month ever in the stock market, and it was because of April. And so people are like, what are you talking about? But we had that huge dip in April due to the tariff news, and I was out of the country. So I was not actively trading, and I was in Europe. So they're 6 hours ahead. So the stock market opens, in the afternoon. By then I'm out and about and going to dinner. I'm doing stuff. I'm not staring at the stock market. So I had a bunch of stuff. Who would have ever thought it would drop like it did? I mean, TSLL dropped to $6. SOXL dropped to $7. I mean, it's at $50 right now. Or it might be at 40. It pulled back a little bit, but one day this week it was at 50. It was at 7. So who would have ever thought that would happen? And so I was completely caught off guard. I wasn't about to ruin my trip over it. So I just let all these shares of everything be assigned. I was like, well, it is what it is. Hopefully this makes a comeback. And I don't really understand what tariffs mean for the stock market. I know what a tariff is, but I didn't understand what it meant for the stock market. Is it just uncertainty that's causing the sell-off? Is it the actual tariffs that's causing the sell-off? Is this good news or bad news? What is this? So I wasn't going to sit there and try to investigate and research while I'm on my vacation. So I just let things be assigned. I let things go, whatever. And then by October, I was able to cash in on all of those TSLL trades. And oh my God, I made, I think $17,000 in October. It was crazy. So when we see these down months, or weeks or days, and tomorrow, if we tank over whatever the new tariff stuff is with the Supreme Court, please take advantage. It won't last. Take full advantage. Don't throw every penny you have into it, but really let's take advantage, because those are the days we want. And yes, CleanSpark is a good one too. I still trade it lightly. Also, I wanted to ask you guys, and you can tell me in Discord and on X. Like I said, I'm trading Mara and CleanSpark to try to get out of them, but that is making me actively trade them to try to get out of them. So I am selling cash secured puts and covered calls. So I'm wheeling them as I'm trying to get out. If any of you guys want to know those trades or enter any of these with me, or you're trying to get out of them as well, let me know. I can make a channel for them, and we can talk, and I can give you my trades on those if you're interested. I don't know that anybody's interested, because we're already in so many crypto related stocks and ETFs. So, but if anybody's interested, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to do it. I've been trading them for quite a long time. I love TSLL. I still have 200 shares. How many, what's your cost basis with them, Jesse? Curious. That's awesome. I would love to start loading back up on shares, but I'm going to see if we can pull back a little further. It's funny because I was assigned shares at $13 maybe last year. And I thought, oh God, I'm going to be stuck in this forever. 13 is terrible. And now I'm like, 13 is amazing. I would love to have 13 again. So it's funny how that works. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about, and then we'll I'll head out, is 1050. That's a good, oh my God, that's a great average. Hopefully you're selling some covered calls, but wow. Jesse, though, do keep in mind, you may already know this, but TSLL decays in time. It does not hold up as well as Tesla. So like if you want to just quickly look at the year chart of Tesla compared to TSLL, actually, let me do that real quick, just to let everybody know. I can do it super fast. The Tesla chart over the 1 year, we are up, how much are we up? 10%, okay? Up 10% on the year as of today. Not on the year, not year to date, but for a year. We're up 10%. TSLL, let's see what it's at. On the year is down 31%. So keep that in mind when you're holding these shares, that Tesla's up 10% while TSLL is down 31% on the year because it decays, it's got fees attached, so on and so forth. It resets daily. So even though Tesla might be making slow moves up, this is not going to move up as quickly because it resets daily. So it really flies when Tesla makes a really big move. But when Tesla's going up or down slowly, this doesn't do much. So you may already know all this, but for people that don't, if you're holding the shares, you need to be selling covered calls to offset that decay. I'm not saying you have to do it against your full position, but if you've got 2,000 shares, maybe sell 5 covered calls at a time so that you are consistently making money while you're holding these shares, because these are strictly for trading. Otherwise, you'd be better off, if you're just going to buy and hold, you're better off holding Tesla itself. So just so everybody understands. With the 10K challenge, I just want to clear up everything. Yes, it does pay a dividend. And also, every once in a while, we get a special dividend, which we got at the end of the year. That was very nice. It kind of messed up the options chain a little bit, but that's okay. We made a little money. I think I made $400 or $200 or I don't remember what I made actually. I have it in my logs here, but anyway, let's discuss the 10K challenge real quick. I call it a 10K challenge. It's also a double your account challenge. Those are the same thing. I'm only doing one challenge. I'm doing mine with $10,000. Some of you may be doing it with more or less or paper trading, whatever. It doesn't matter. The 10K challenge or the double my account challenge is I'm actively trading in, for those of you that don't know, in X and on Discord. If you are thinking about joining me, please DM me. Don't subscribe on X at the moment. I'm having a little bit of an issue with their subscription service. So Buy Me a Coffee has a subscription service, and I can send you the link, and you can pay. It's at the same price. You don't have to have an account, nothing different. You just would pay through there, and it will have a reoccurring charge of $4 every month. And then I don't have to deal with X because their subscriptions, I don't know, they don't have them set up right. So I can send you the link for Buy Me a Coffee. And then it will just take a $4 charge off your credit card every month, or you can do the 1 year for $45. And then you don't have to worry about it at all. And that would help me out a lot. I appreciate you guys. Okay, so with this challenge, of course, there are no guarantees. And I put a disclaimer that I hope all of you saw. If you didn't, please let me know. But I am trading in this. It won't be an everyday call out, big trades, risky trades, weekly trades. This is going to be a slow growing double my account challenge. I am hoping by the end of the year, I will have doubled this $10,000 account and have $20,000. There's no guarantee. Hey, even if I have, $8,000, you won't hear me complain. But how it works is whatever you're starting out with, I know it's going to be slow, and that's okay. As we take profits on these trades, we'll have more money to trade with. So like if you're starting with 10,000, once you've made $200 on these trades, now you're trading with $10,200. And then you can add more contracts because you've got more money, more capital to trade with. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's kind of how it's going to work. As of right now, we're in 4 trades, 2 BBAI trades and 2 RCAT trades. Until we are out of some of those, I'm not going to go with those names again. I don't think, unless one of them has a big pullback where it's just like irresistible. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to something else in this portfolio. I wasn't sure that I wanted to trade leveraged in this portfolio because, again, those are more risky. If TSLL comes down enough, we might enter a trade there, but I will wait till after earnings because, again, this is my low risk portfolio. I'm not trying to gamble through earnings. I'm not trying to, this is a slow and steady income portfolio. Now, of course, I'm still every day throwing out my trades that I do in my regular portfolio. So in Discord, there are channels. I have a TG trade. It's a read-only channel, so nobody can clog it up with anything. You can put reactions and checks and whatever, but you can't speak in it. So it's easy to find all the TG trades. Those are the trades that I do daily in my trading portfolio. Then you can see the double my account challenge channel. It's also just a read only. So everybody can find the trades easily. And I do at everyone on those, so you won't miss out. And that those trades are only good for that portfolio. But again, if you just want a lower risk trade for your regular portfolio, by all means, take the trade. I mean, it doesn't have to be in the double my account challenge portfolio. Anybody can take the trade. On X, because they screwed up the DMs so bad. Some people were updated. Their DMs were updated to encrypted. Some were not automatically updated, and they don't know how to update. And I don't know how to tell them to update because mine did it automatically. They can't communicate in a group DM. So some people see my DMs and some don't. So that's why we had to move the chat over to Discord in the first place. But I do post there just in a DM. I post all my trades and it's on my subscriber only, but it's also posted out in a DM. And if it's a trade that's for the challenge, I do put a star at the top and I say challenge trade. So it's easy for people to follow that don't have Discord or don't want to join Discord. So I understand that. Some people don't want to join a different app just to get my trades if they're not already on Discord. So, and again, any of you who weren't here at the beginning, please tell me if it's annoying if I at everyone when I post a trade. I need to know if that's annoying. Yeah, still going, Rod. Rod is here. Hi. Yeah, we're kind of wrapping up, but I'm going over my challenge that my double my account challenge that you did not join with us, Rod. Hi, Taco Bell. Let's see, Jesse. Yes, I do cover calls. Okay, good. And thank you. I love your content. Well, thank you. Hopefully everybody's making money here. You're wheeling and dealing. Yeah, we are. 63 more subs. Anybody who's not subscribed to me on YouTube, please do. It's free. There's no reason not to. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I'm almost there. Only need 63 more. It's not that much. I'm like, just come on. I'm almost there. Okay, and I guess that's really it. So if anybody has any questions. Thanks, Rod. Yeah, 25 of my 300 subscribers are watching. Hopefully they'll listen back to it because there's a lot of info in here. Love your CSP. Thanks. Does anybody have any questions before we head out? Especially about the challenge. I feel like it's pretty cut and dry, but it's there. Anybody that wants to join, it's not too late. You know, it's never too late. You might miss out on a couple $100 from the trades that we're already in, but you know, it's not too late to join. Anyone can join anytime. And of course, you can join my subscription and my Discord where we trade every day. Okay, it looks like BBAI has dropped again. So it's at 612. So if anybody's looking at some of the entries, let me see what's down. The February 13th $5.50 put, I got paid 36 on those, but they're still 32, which is very, very good because the next run up, that's gonna really run up. Also, somebody said that some of the other expiration dates opened up on BBAI, maybe the 27th of February. So we'll start looking at those. Again, guys, I'm kind of going further out with the expiration dates because we can always close them early. For instance, this January 23 $5 put, I mean, we're already up 76%. So we don't have to wait till January 23rd to close it. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to go ahead and close it today. Up 76%, and it's still got like, what, 2 or 3 weeks to expiration. So going further out pays more premium, less risk. You can add contracts, and you can close early. So let's continue with that. I think it's working really well for us. And then Roddy soon. Yeah, as soon as I learn it, as soon as you learn it, I'll learn it. And then any of you guys that aren't subscribed to Rod, which is Retire on Dividends, subscribe to him here on YouTube. He does videos every single day, and he's trying out the reason why I'm saying he's not taking my trades and not getting in my challenge is because he's learning a different strategy. And it's basically the strategy that the Yield Max or Yield Max or any of those high yield ETFs, it's the strategy that they use. It's spreads, and it's selling calls and buying calls and selling puts and buying puts and all kinds of confusing stuff, but he understands it. So if you want to learn it, he's like literally talking about it almost every day on YouTube. So it's a good opportunity for you to learn something new if you want to. And then when I finally decide to learn it, I'll be more than happy to share too. Grandpa trades, assign roles for subs, challenge, etc. I really don't even know what that. I don't know how to assign roles. I do need a moderator. I think I need a moderator if somebody wants to help me because I really don't know how to do all of this. Oh, I need it for my YouTube lives. Okay. Why? What does that do? Just helps. I mean, my YouTube lives have 20 people on it. It's not a big deal. 612. Wait to buy a CSP. Okay, well, first of all, make sure you're saying it right. It's sell a cash secured put, not buy one. I don't think you can buy a cash secured put anyway, but you don't want to accidentally say buy a put to someone because that's totally different than selling a put. But yeah, BBAI, the sweet spot is $6. So anywhere under, I have 1,250 shares at $6. Anything under $6, $5.50, $5 is a good average to be assigned. So that's kind of where we're selling our cash secured puts. Okay, let's see. Now that I'm done begging for subscribers and we've gone over our challenge, is there anything else anybody needs to ask or say before we get going? I'm studying Roddy as I listen to you talk about it. And he's playing a great deal less expensive to get. I'm getting close to jumping on board. Yeah, Bruce, try it. Do a oh my God, you're still trading open. Oh, you're so. I have a story. So one time I told Rod that I was trading SQQQ, and he said, "Oh, we need to talk before we go any further. I can't believe you would trade SQQQ." And he was right. It kicked me in the ass because, you know, this market is just never going to pull back. But anyway, so he was like getting on to me thinking that I'm just like crazy trading SQQQ. And then he goes in and trades open and still trading open. And he's up 5%. So I guess it's working, but open is like AMC in 2021. Like it's only going to last so long, but hey, make money while you can. And so yeah, Bruce, try Roddy with don't be try Roddy with BBAI. You know, I think it would work, and it's low cost, low risk. So I want to give it a shot and see how it works. Um, don't I wouldn't try it with open, but hey, I'm not the Roddy one here. Um, let's see. And Taco Bell, if you haven't subscribed to me here, please do. I post stuff all the time, and I've got tons of my wheel strategy videos on BBAI that literally I just posted one yesterday, updated. So I keep updating those. Matt, I may or not be trading open, only 100 shares though. Um, okay, only 100 shares. That's not the end of the world. That's what, $500 or something. Unless you bought it at $8. Hope not. And hopefully you're selling covered calls on it. I mean, hey, I am not. I traded open when it was. I was trading cash secured puts on open every single week up until their earnings because the IV was irresistible. So I did well on it. So I'm not down in it, but when do you sing? No, I want to keep people on here. My voice isn't as good as yours. If anybody hasn't listened to Rod's videos, you also get his version of well, a couple of things, but Gold Digger, he will sing to you almost every day. He'll sing to you. And sometimes he goes for a while singing it too. So it's very entertaining if you haven't listened. Open is better for a leap versus a Roddy trade. I'll admit that. Okay. Good. I mean, I don't know because I haven't tried a Roddy trade yet. I will. I will try. I keep telling him I will, but I will try one with BBAI while it's, you know, down around $6. What's it at right now? It's really moving like a lot considering that it's such a low cost stock. It's really making some moves the last couple of days up and down. Rod, are you gonna trade AMDL with us this time? Last time he refused to trade AMDL because of the monthly expirations and the widespread. I get it. It is a little annoying, but if you're an AMD bull, it doesn't matter. We're trading 1, 2, like, I don't know, 6 tickers, I think. Actively trading 6. I've got, some of my old ones in the background, like CleanSpark and Nara and BMNU and all those. But actively trading about 6. But we're in RCAT and it's run up like 40% this week. Literally. I mean, we're getting toasted with our covered calls. But that's okay. I mean, we sold our covered calls way beyond our average, so it's okay, but man, covered calls can just kick your ass sometimes, and that's what they're doing. So we've got a lot of us have $10 covered calls, and it's right now at 1168. Rod, 1168. It ran up, 40% in 1 week. So we got a little screwed on that end, but that's okay. That's why I always say don't sell against your full position, but unfortunately I sold against most of my position. Okay, how do I find Rod Trades on YouTube? Subscribe to him, and he has a video every single morning. It's a live video, so you can either watch it live or you can play it back later. I always play it back later when I'm getting ready for work because I'm not up at 6 o'clock in the morning. No leverage funds for me at the moment. Okay, I get it. I'm trading TSLL lightly again as well. Lightly, not my $85,000 that I was doing last year. But take a look at BBAI. I know you're sick of hearing about it, but I'm telling you, it'll be good for the Roddy too. Test it out and see. I test for to wake up and do a live with me at 6 a.m. Oh my God, 6 a.m. would literally kill me. I don't know how you do it. That's the middle of the night for me. My alarm goes off at 8. I just, but one day I will. One day I will. Or one day I might surprise you when I can't sleep and I just wake up. And I'll be like, ooh, let me jump on and scare the shit out of him real quick. Also, any of you guys that are still on, thank you for joining and thank you for being a part of all of this. And Rod, I don't know if you're going to listen back to this, but at the beginning of this, I also thanked you for giving us channels in the Wheel Warriors, because I know that's been kind of a pain for you to help me with that, but I appreciate it a lot because I would have never been able to open my own Discord. I don't even know how it works. So it was really helpful for you to open that up for us and open the channels up for us so we can talk about our trades, since it was so hard over on X. So anyway, does anybody else have any comments or questions? If not, we will head out. Yeah, you did. You've been helping me. That's the whole reason I'm on YouTube at all. Like, Rod is to thank for all of this, all of it. So he pushed me into doing a lot of the stuff that I probably would have never done. Showing my face on YouTube would have never, ever, ever happened, ever, without him. And then even going on Spaces, like even my voice, I was like, I don't know, because I don't know. It's weird, but I'm a little bit shy on a little bit of some things, like out in public for some reason. So I was like, I'm not going on Spaces. And then the first time I did go on Spaces, it was with Stock Mom, and she was like, "Oh, you're Southern." And I was like, "Am I? I don't. To me, I don't sound Southern, but to everybody else, I guess I do." So okay. So anyway, I did it, and here I am. So broke out of my shell because of Rod. So anyway, okay, so I'll let you guys go. If any of you made it this far, I'm going to do like Rod and give a word. Let's make it Southern. Anybody that made it this far in the video, put Southern in the comments, whether you are on now or whether you are listening back. Taco Bell wakes up at 4:45 a.m. Why? Work? Okay, everybody, see, I'm a hairstylist. So I make my own schedule, and I refuse to go in, except on Saturdays. I refuse to go in before like 11 or 12 because I want to watch market open. I work out a few days a week, and I want my mornings, but then I'll also work a little later. So, it's fair. You 4 a.m.ers, that's wild. That's literally the middle of the night for me. So, all right, dudes, I will let you go. And you did your video at 5 a.m. Oh my Lord. That's terrible. Okay, we will get going now. We've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. We did good. We covered a lot. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you have any questions, just shoot them to me. I'm always around, and I can answer them here. I can answer them on Discord. I can answer them on X, anywhere you want. So I'm here. And again, Southern in the comments, and I'll know you listen till the end, and you'll get an extra special thank you. So I'll see you guys over in the chats. Thanks.